roots of our faith. Okay? They're where we get our foundation. And our first habit is be proactive. So somebody tell us about being proactive.
Habit 1, be proactive, means to be a responsible person and to treat everybody kind even when people don't treat you kind. It means to do the right thing even when no one is looking or you don't even get a reward.
Very good. Okay, our next habit is begin with the end in mind.
Carson Rickles. Some ways you can begin with an end in mind is plan ahead and set goals. You can look for ways to be a better person. You can do. I contribute to my school's mission and vision, and I'm working on my class.
Great. Now, habit 3 is put first things first.
My name is Brady Hunter, and put first things first means that I work first, then I play. When I get home, I do my homework, and then I
Now, share with my kids at school, put first things first is the hardest one for me because I like Netflix. I really like Netflix. Those are our 3 private habits. Those 3 habits are where we work on the inside. We want to work on our inside so we can have an effective outside. So our public habits, our first one is think win-win.
I'm Elijah over here, and think win-win means to think of what somebody else wants, not just your own wants. Like whenever conflicts arise, you can think for a win-win solution.
Next is seek first to understand, then to be understood. And I never did this with my sister.
My name is Jenny Jones, and I think of other people's ideas and feelings. I listen to other people without interrupting them, and I listen with my eyes, my ears, and my heart.
Very good. All right, habit 6 is to synergize.
Synergize means that I work well in groups, even with people who are way different than me. I look for other people's ideas instead of my own, and I make their alternatives.
Great. Now, habit 7 encompasses everything. And this is sharpen the saw.
Some ways you can sharpen the saw is eat right, exercise, and get enough sleep. I find meaningful ways to help people. I spend time with my family and friends. And
Good. Now, while my trusty assistants are up here, I want to open the floor to you. What do you think about 7 habits? What would you like to know? You can ask them anything you want. Sorry. Okay.
How would you say the habits have impacted you personally?
well, at my house, I have an older sister, and we don't really get along well. So whenever we have like fight, we think we don't get what we want.
Anybody else? You want to share?
Well, whenever I go home after school, I really put first things first because my friends will come to my door and ask me if I want to play, and I'll say that I have to do my homework first, and then I'll go outside and play with them.
Anybody else? Do you have other questions? What's your favorite habit in life?
My favorite habit is to put first things first, because with my busy schedule, it's kind of hard to put everything all together. So I have to list them, what's most important, what's least important to get things done.
You said you have a very busy schedule. Could you tell me, please, at your age, what are you busy with?
Well, with sports and with my school and all, and other academic projects, it gets a little mixed up.
She cheers at the sports and church and Michael English teacher makes her write papers. All that near this stressed out as well. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Are you using your habits outside of school?
Yes, because I have to do dishes at home, and sometimes whenever, even though I don't want to do it, I go ahead and do it anyways, just so I can get it over with. That's like putting first things first.
Anybody else using them outside of school?
fifth grade, everybody just had a bad mood. I mean, everybody was just rude to each other and shoving them down. But now, in the middle of sixth grade, after we started doing it, everybody was just more happy and more kind to each other. They would say excuse me and using their manners.
When did this program start? Do you start in fifth grade or do you wait to seventh grade to get going with this?
Last year was our first year starting. We started at the beginning of our sixth grade.
Beginning of sixth grade?
Yes, ma'am. The whole school started last year. So now our upcoming fifth graders are starting, and they'll go through the process fifth, sixth, and seventh grade. Do you have any other questions?
Is it easier this year than it was last year?
I think that it is easier this year because we're more familiar with the habits and like everybody knows what they want.
I've noticed a smile on every one of your faces. Are you happy to be here? Are you happy with the program?
Yes, Any other questions for our esteemed guests? Now, we want to wrap up by just mentioning a couple of things. At Hayden Middle School, there are several things that we believe. We believe that every child has potential. Every child has worth. Every child can be a leader. Stephen Covey, the author of our book, once said that leadership is communicating people's worth and potential so clearly that they are inspired to see it in themselves. And we hope that as a middle school and as a community and as with all of the other schools in this great area, that we can live out Hayden Middle School's mission statement, which is together we can. Together we can make a difference. Together we can impact their lives for the long haul. And one more thing I want us to talk about before I let you go, and you get to, okay? There are some very practical things that we're doing at the middle school to live these habits. It's not just an advisory program. It's not just getting together a presentation. But we're doing very specific things to make them practice the habits. For example, this year, every kid got an agenda. And in advisory, we use those agendas. During class, we use those agendas and write down our assignments. Okay? We also have the kids this year, which is new to everybody in middle school, we have leadership binders. And I love leadership binders because the kids are having to track their own data. There's no more of, well, how'd you do on that test yesterday? You can't say that anymore, can you? Because you track it in your mind. There's no, did you get in trouble at school today? No. No, you can't say that anymore, can you? They track it in their minds. So if you have a baby at the middle school, grandbaby, ask to see their leadership notebook. They have to keep data on themselves. They have to write personal and academic goals. They had to write a personal mission statement that they were going to live by. My mission statement is, of course, from Harry Potter. And it's not what someone's born, but what they grow to be. If you were to walk into my classroom, right beside our classroom, you'd see my mission statement. Where's your mission statement? It is leadership. So every time you open your leadership binder, you're reminded what your mission is in life. Those leadership binders are great. They track school data. We track our class data for STAR, which is our progress monitoring software. We track, what else do we track? 30-book challenge. The kids have in my class have to read 30 books on May 1st, so they're having to track all our books. What else do we do in our leadership?
Well, Mr. Durden, you have to have a conduct.
Have to keep up with your conduct. What else do
Track
you
your
do?
goals.
You track your goals, so you can check to see how you're doing your goal. And if you meet your goal, in the victory section, we get to celebrate it. So there's a tab just for victories. We get to celebrate all the good things inside and outside of school. Anything else you can think of that's in our binder?
We have the test tracker.
Yeah, we have the test trackers. We track our STAR test, and we track our reading test, and we track our English test. How do we track those? We have to graph them, don't we? So they're even having to make graphs. They're having to use skills to track their data. And it's fantastic. So if you have a baby that's associated with the middle school, ask to see your leadership binder. Is there anything else y'all can think of that needs to know?
yourself from the time you're in fifth grade, and the way you're reacting, and the way you're acting with other people when you started and where you are now?
Yes, because when, about fifth grade, I would always interrupt people, because I really like sometimes. I would just butt in and just not think about it, but now I'm like more conscientious about what I say, when I say it.
Anybody else?
Well, in fifth grade, I didn't like hold doors open that much, you know, I wasn't much people, but now in seventh grade, I cheered more, and, you know, I hold doors open.
He's also, aren't you on the green clean team? Are you on the green clean? You're a greeter, yeah, you're a greeter. The kids had to, in my advisory, they were able to apply and get letters of recommendation to have a classroom job. I never would have thought it would have been such a gift. But the kids loved it. They had to go out and get letters. They had to ask for a letter of recommendation. They had to turn their application in on time. They volunteered to like be on the green and clean team, which means you clean our room every day. Like volunteer. I want to take their picture and show their mom saying they really can do it. They have a mailman who's in charge of my mail. Felicity, she's back there, she's videoing for us today. She's my class secretary. And all of my paperwork, when you bring back progress reports, that goes to Felicity. It's my secretary. That's great. They had to apply for that stuff. And it was so great to see them step up to the plate and be leaders. Anything else?
I guess this is for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do all of the students participate? Are there any that feel that are not part of the program?
All the kids at school receive instruction in leadership as part of our advisory program, which is our mentoring program at the middle school. For the first 20 minutes of every day, we have advisory where we get to know our kids. And we become advocates for those kids. So for the ones that are reluctant, there's an adult in that building who will seek them out and find out why. Every kid in our building knows who their champion is. It might be their advisory teacher, it could be their club sponsor. It could be our fantastic janitor, Mr. Ryan from the square. But our hope is that every kid knows who their adult is, who their advocate is. And if they're having a hard time, or they're having a hard time practicing habits, somebody's there and they're going to hold them accountable. So, do they all love it? Not yet, but they will.
You had something you were going to say.
Oh, yeah, it was the question from fifth grade. I used to lose my temper easily with kids that really got on my nerves or something, but now I've learned to hold it back.
And that's fantastic. Well, thank you again for letting us come and share with you tonight. They have worked really hard and got together and practiced. And I want to thank y'all for giving up on Thursday night and coming out here and sharing with our community directors as well.
Why don't you go away until I can get over your knees?
Yes, tell me. Okay. All right, well, thank y'all so much for letting us come tonight. It's been a pleasure to come and to meet you. And if you ever need anything or you have questions, please let us know. We are here to serve you. That is our number one priority, is to serve our community.